to get these here done on it real quick. Looks weird because of the lights, but it's the sequential tail light setup. I'm gonna show y'all how I hook this up. Let's get at it. Also got the LED headlights in there too. Need to wash him up, it's been raining. So we'll be installing. First off, you ain't gonna need but a couple of tools, a drill, wire strippers, and this sequential tail light module kit from United Pacific, model number 90656. I'll show that throughout the video a couple of times. Here it is here. Again, shout out to them. They ain't sponsoring me or nothing, just to shout them out because it took me a minute to get the right ones. So yeah, drill, wire cutters, a couple of crimps. They send you some. Talk about that too. Some LED lights to replace the old ones. Old bulbs, you'll need some LEDs. And let's get to it. The same one from the previous video where I did the sequential lights on it. I'm going to show you how to do it from the beginning to the end with this one. I got a different setup. Should be the right setup. So basically you're going to start off with taking off all of these screws here. Like 6 of them, 8 of them. You take all of them off. That's going to allow the tail lights to come out. Just a little bit on this here. 2 Lanzars, 2 kickers, a crunch for the 2x9s I got in the back. A little extra battery, but all of this is temporary. Pull all of this out. This was actually in my son's little Acura, but he wrecked that motherfucker. But anyway, I'm mocking up how I'm gonna do the cabinet in the back. That's another project, but I'll show y'all how to do that too. Little extra battery. Put a little tray in there so battery don't move around. Got the little 2x4s here so the box don't slide side to side. It don't go back and forth. Or don't, you know, but it will slide left or right. So I'll put the little 2x4s on each side just to keep it from sliding left or right. But again, all of this is temporary. I'm gonna pull all of that out and build me a cabinet and a whole little different setup. But what I'm gonna show y'all though again today is how to do the sequential lights. So I'm gonna get the kit, get to taking these screws off. Alright, let me let y'all know what's going on. So I done took both of the tail lights off, as you can see. They're over here. This is these two here, this one here. This is the reverse light. This is also the reverse light. And these are the 3 lights you're gonna be working with. These 3 and these 3. Now here's the kit I got. This is from United Pacific Sequential Taillight Module, item number 90656. See it better on the back. You know, so it's universal, retrofit any vehicle. You don't need LED lights. Comes with the instructions on how to wire it. 2 of these. And here's the other one. Comes with a wire. This is for the goes to your brake light switch. Explains that there in the instructions too. If you get this particular set, this had to get cut off on ours for the Box Chevys and get wired down here. What you're gonna have to do or have to have, if you don't already know, you're gonna have to change this into this middle light. Doesn't come with a, it doesn't generally blinks, so you're gonna have to change that into one like this one, or the one on the end, either one. Excuse me. And you can just get them from the junkyard somewhere, from another Chevy or whatever type of car that just have these same type of, they're pretty standard, so that's the easiest way to do it. And then you'll wire it just like this one is wired. So you want to get one, the same left, one right. One's yellow and one's green. Green is the light. I'll go over that in a little bit too. But basically all you really gonna need is, these are the LED lights I got. Ordered these off of Amazon, and it's 2 in a pack, so got 2 extras if I don't decide to put them in reverse light. But basically you need some wire cutters. The kit also comes with all the little clamps you'll need. I got a bunch of that, so I may or may not use that. But some wire cutters, a little drill for the screws. Ain't a whole lot of screws, so you ain't doing a bunch of unscrewing of nothing but these 3. I said these 2, but you don't have to take these 2 out. You don't have to take the 2 out in the middle. It's just the 3 on each end. So it's 3 there, 3 there. And then you'll have easy access, like I was just showing, to the lights. So you can see I rewired it, and I used the yellow wire to try to just make it the same. Yellow on this side and green on this side as well. So just so it's the same, and it's easier to do, easier to remember. And what I'll do, I'll get it ready, and I'll explain to you how I got it wired. All right, I'm gonna run y'all through what I did so far. These 2 yellow light wires. One of them is power, but it's running parallel to the other lights on the far end, and to this one if you're just running it standard. But it's going to be wired different, so you got to figure out which one of these is the hot wire from the front, and then which one is just the parallel wire, because you won't need that parallel wire afterwards. So what I did, I just taped both of them up temporarily. This is the ground, and I know the white is not generally ground, but the way they have this set up, white is ground, and red is hold on a second, shit going on. It's about to rain in a minute. A little Tahoe and a little Mercedes while the plane go by. Alright, but so the red is the turn signal. No, I'm sorry. The red on this setup is the stoplight, and which is also the turn signal, so that was right. So it's stoplight and the turn signal, and the black, which goes to the brown. Not showing it, my bad. The black wire from the module, which goes to the brown on the wire set, is the tail lights. So again, the red is the stop and turn signal. The black is the brown. It's the brown, right? Which is the tail lights. So when you turn on your lights, the tail lights just come on. That's just the brown set. The yellow set is when you hit the brakes, or when you hit the turn signal. So that's what the red wire goes to. Now what I've done already, I'm gonna leave these parallel, since it's gonna be LED anyway. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna leave these 2 just connected as they are, as I already did. So I just spliced these into one, added the white to the ground, because you got to remember on this setup, white is actually ground even though it's black, so you don't want to get that mixed up. So I added the white just to remind myself that this goes to the white wire. So in this setup, again, the white is ground, the black is turn, and the red is stop. It's kind of easier to remember that the red is stop. It's just the black and the white is kind of confusing. So the red is stop, the white is ground, and the black is turn. So they're going to be wired to each individual light. So you won't need that parallel setup. So because each one has 3 wires on it, so it'll just go, you'll just wire it right to that, and again right to that. What I did fail to mention is you are going to need some extra wire, color coordinated if possible, but some black, some red, some white, some yellow, because it's not going to make it all the way to the from there all the way to that module once it's in the tail lights. The tail lights here, and then when it's there, so the wires are going to be too short. So you're going to need some extra wire just to extend these. So now what you have to do is figure out which one, well, what I have to do is figure out which one is constant hot and which one is just the parallel that loops. See the brown, it loops over to here and then loops over to there. That's the tail light. And then the yellow, it loops from here, but like that's the yellow. And I had to add one to this initially to make it work with the other setup that I had, but you won't need this. You won't need this loop anymore anyway, so that's why that's cut off anyway. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do all of the setups like this, all of the wires like this, and well, the 3, and then I'll show you how all of that is, and then I'll show you how to wire it. I'm gonna also extend these so that they're long enough to go wherever they need to be. Show you that, show you how it's wired before I connect everything, and then I'll keep it going. Alright, so I got it all wired, left, right, center. Again, I made each wire color coded so it goes to the same. Red, white goes to white, black goes to black, red goes to red, and that's on each light. So, and you can kind of see, so I can show you. Like there's one long one. These two are about the same length. The long one is the furthest one away, so the long one is here, the middle one, and then the first one. And this is the first light. Wrong bulb, but I'm gonna put the LEDs in it so it don't matter. But that's the first light, and then the center light, and then the end light. So I'm gonna turn it on real quick for you. Let you. So now you can see it's actually working. Bad. It's not in sequence, but it actually goes like this, if I'm not mistaken. That's wrong. So here it is in sequence. Yeah, I in the best looking position. But this would be the left. And like I was saying, if you have to flip it, then that's the right. So on the right side is going that way. This side's the left side. And what you can do, so you don't have to worry about which one is which, make the wires long enough to where they'll go to either one. Like these will go to either socket. And then that way you just have to put them in the right holes. The center is just the left and the right. So you can make the left or all of them the same length. And then that way it'll go wherever you need it to go to, either side. Now, another thing I was saying about this center, you got to get this one. This one has the 3 wires on it. The originals only have 2. The original only have this brown and black wire. You got to get the one that has the green wire. And also the same for the other side. You got to get the one that has the yellow wire. It has to have the three wires on it rather. Brown, yellow, and black. It's like this one, brown, yellow, black. Brown, yellow, black. And then this one has two browns, brown, green, black, two browns, two greens. But the green is the parallel that loops the power to those tail lights and turn signals. Same with this yellow, like with this one, it has, the two browns and the two yellows. So one of those from here will be disconnected, same as on the yellow side. One of the browns will be disconnected, and then you just wire this one this way, the same side you did this side. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wire it. Well, I still have to figure out which one of these is the constant power and which one is the parallel wire for both this yellow and this brown. And then I can just disconnect the parallel wire so I don't have to worry about power coming to this yellow or this brown over here. And then the ground is ground, so you ain't worried about that, and I can just get them out the way. I'm gonna tape them up, but just have them out the way. You don't want to cut them all the way off either, just in case you decide to go back to the original light setup or something happens with the thing and you need to go back to the original light setup. So yeah, that's again, you see you got that three lights. You gotta have them three lights. And then this is the end. The three, that would be in sequence once they're in the right order. So I'm gonna get it tightened up and I'll show you how that looks. Right to left. But what I went on ahead and did, once I taped it up, ran the wires back under here, back through here for these two. Put the LEDs in, because you won't even see your tail lights without the LEDs. Figured out which two were just the hot wires on here. Taped off the other two to the parallel, so there's no power coming to this one or this one. Either one of these have power, but I'm gonna tape that off too. I can just tuck that up in there, and the module will go up in there too somewhere. I have to, again, this is the brake light wire, so I have to wire that, and then when I wire that, I'll tape all of this up back there. So they're gonna stay up here. Alright, so that's a sequential. And you see that's just regular. And then I'm gonna this is just it might look like it's blinking in the video, but it's not. So those are just the tail lights, and this is just solid, even though it looked like, I don't know why it looked like it's blinking like that. But they're not actually blinking, they're just solid. Just like those. So now I just gotta do that side. Tape this up and put it tape this up, put that brake wire on. I'll show y'all how to do that, but that's simple. It's just, I'm gonna just follow that blue wire right there, that remote wire for the stereo system, run it to the switch, and then wire this side the same way. So it'll be the same. That'll be the right side. And once I get that rewired, I'll show y'all how it looks. Now here, before I tape it all up, here's the right side. So the green, red goes to the green, black goes to the brown, and white goes to ground. This is all like this, the same as the wiring as the module. So again, green is red, brown is black, black is white. Green, red, brown, black, black, white. Well, that's how them three will be. And then I just have to connect it to this module. And like I said, with this setup, we have to cut off this connector right there, like I did with this one. So you just cut that off, and you wire that to the other set, which I haven't did yet, but you can wire that to these. So it'll be the red, the black, and the black is white. So green is red, black is white, brown is black. So I'm gonna put the ground on because I know that's permanent, and then just like with the other side, I'm gonna just strip these two, tape them together to the module until I figure out which one is actually the hot wire and which one is just a parallel wire. So I can just disconnect that parallel wire. So this, now I can just tape that up and get it out the way. This one as well, the center one. I'll just tape that up, get it out the way, and then I just have to figure out which ones are hot for the module. Like I did on that side, then I can tape up the two spares and get them out the way. So I'm gonna get that done also. I'm gonna run it through the back like I did on this side too. Run all the wires back right behind here. Get that done. Get it all connected, and then I'll show you both of them in sequence. And then I still have to do the brake light switch. So I'll get that done and I'll show you what it looked like. Just wanted to show you real quick what your tail lights would look like using regular bulbs. You can barely see that light versus with the LED. Again, those ain't blinking. I don't know why it does that on the camera. But you can't even see these lights. Let me show you the sequence real quick. Tail light part will work fine. Brake light, tail lights. I mean brake light and stop lights. But the tail lights you wouldn't even see. So, but that's how it goes. It's left to right, or right to left, and this one left to right. I'm not going to change the reverse light bulbs because the LED lights I have for those for these are two-way, and this is just, of course, a single bulb. I'll probably get one later. Go ahead and tighten it back up. Oh, just real quick too. Again, wiring. You know, red, black, and white. Make it easy to wire up. On this side, red is green, black is brown, and white is ground. So that's that. Again, I'm gonna wire it up, put it all back together, and tape it up. Still got to do the brake light switch. So I'm gonna do that. Show you how I get that done. Alright, so I wired the yellow wire, this one here, ran it up through, kind of hard to see, but ran it up through here, all the way under there, back over here, and paired it up to this one. This is what you're gonna need that extra yellow wire for. And this is going to be the wire that goes to the brake switch. So I can go ahead and tighten that up. Now how I got that through here is, let me see if I can get a light real quick. Hold on. Alright, so see the yellow wire right here. What you do here is, if I can get it to focus, I don't really need to focus. This slides right up. It just slides straight up. You can see the grommet that pushes out. Just push it straight forward. It'll go through. You can slide the wire under it. And then I brought it. Let me see if I can get that. It ain't focusing now. But so then I brought it up. You can't really see the grommet from here, but you'll be able to see the grommet. It's right down there through that hole. See if I can get a light on it. This is kind of hard to see, but it's right there. So again, you'll just push this grommet out. See, it goes straight through. You can see the light. Slide the wire under it. Pull the grommet back in. Slide the cover back over. It's got to be pulled in far enough, of course. And then you'll hold it on. Get it on with one hand. But generally, that's how it goes. You probably have to use both hands because you got to pull the wire. Keep that out far enough. See the little gap between there. And then this hooks in between it, so it slides down on top of it. So that then I'm gonna run it back this way, all the way back. See, it's going to pull it behind the seat under there. Follow the remote wire, tape it up, and clean it up down there. So that's how that's gonna go. But then once I get to the brake switch, I will I'll show y'all how that's wired. Alright, look, I'm going to show y'all how to find the wire that's going to be used for the brake light switch. Now, the switch itself is right here. Right here, see where I'm pointing? So that's the switch. And you see two sets of wires coming off right here. Those are not the ones you're looking for. You go down a little further on the bottom of the switch, you'll see it's kind of hard to see. Let's see if I can. So down on the bottom of the switch, it's this. You got the orange, the blue, with the black stripe on it, and the white. The orange wire is a constant hot wire. The blue is the actual wire that you're going to be cutting and reconnecting to the brake light switch. The white you'll leave alone. Now how you can test that is, I got my test light on. I'm going to see if I can show y'all. Stick it right onto the orange wire. It's kind of hard to do with one hand and film it. It's hard to see with the light and not in the right spot. Okay, see. So that's the orange wire. It's constantly hot. It's stuck in there right where the orange wire is. It's kind of hard to see because of the angle, but if you plug that in, then you stick it into the blue wire, it doesn't light up until, get this to show right, until I actually push the brake. And that, you can see that. Well, I don't know if you can or not. but it's lit up. I don't know if you can see that, but basically that's how you'll check it to figure out which wire is the actual brake switch. Again, one of them is hot constantly. So this orange one is constantly hot. Then the blue with the black is the wire for the switch. So you're gonna cut this wire, cut it here, and wire your yellow wire back from the module. Connect that to the wire that you cut. Now mine wasn't long enough, so I had to add some red wire. So it'll wind up being red halfway through and then yellow on the end. But that's how that'll get wired. So again, you're gonna cut this blue wire right here. The blue with the black on it. Blue and black stripe. Cut that wire right there. So it's the blue, black, the white, and the orange. Orange is you're leaving. The blue with the black stripe on it is the wire you're cutting. The white you're leaving. So again, you're gonna cut it here, splice your other wire, connect your other wire right to it. They give you little splicers in the kit, but you gotta cut the wire anyway, so it's no point in just trying to splice it. So that should do it. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think you will have to actually splice it, but I'm gonna try to splice it first and see if that works. But it says on the instructions to cut it. But now I'm thinking about it, the switch might not send a signal to that wire if it's cut from that. So that's probably what the splicers are for. So I'm gonna splice it first, see if that works before I cut it. And if that works, I'll just leave it as it is. But that's pretty much the setup. Once you wire that, everything should be good. And I'll do that and let you look at it.